Alright, here we go again. This is my attempt at setting up Mastercam on a Windows 10 virtual machine. And this is happening inside the context of working at UNSW Canberra. ad.unsw.edu.au, oneunsw. See it. So one of the first things we have to do is we have to connect to the share drive. Let me just double check the address that I'm typing here because I'm not sure if it's correct. Oh yeah, I'm missing the can. Okay. So this is going to get me to connect to the share drive. It takes a little bit of time for this to happen, so I'll probably pause the video in a sec. But when it does pop up, it's pretty important that you type in username and password correctly and tell Windows to remember your credentials, because later on we're going to get Mastercam to use a network location, and if the credentials aren't saved, then it won't be able to access that and it'll just sort of hang. So I'll pause the video and wait for Windows to finish deciding to ask me for credentials. There's the pause button. Here it is. Actually, while I'm waiting for that, I will get it to do a Windows update. This won't matter for anyone else because I'm sure your machines are fully updated anyway. But yeah, when I've tried this before, I kept getting issues with missing DLLs. So having everything fully updated hopefully will resolve that. Okay, so I've finally got the prompt come up now. So I'm just putting in my credentials. You need the suffix here as well. And as I was saying before, make sure you don't mistype this because Windows will remember and keep trying with the wrong thing. Fantastic, we're in. So, inside this directory, we should have a Mastercam directory here. So we've got a copy of the installation media here. I was going to copy it, but I guess I'll just run it from this location. What will I do? Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Alright, so let's finish copying. Just close this for now and run the install. Alright, we don't want any of these inches. That's not what we're after. Come on. Okay. Now this shared defaults folder, we want to replace that, and let me just browse to the place that we want for that. So we're going to the ACME Mechanical. We're after Mastercam 2022. So in this directory, which I'll just show again, this holds all the configuration for the the different machines and stuff like that. So if we have all the Mastercam installations looking at the same place, then we therefore share all those settings, which is quite useful. So we're going to grab that address and go in here and just paste it there. And there we go, that's good. Hit done. Next, yes, next. I'll just jump into the future a bit here. Okay, so that's done. Before I launch it, I'm just going to double check something. So, installed. Just curious about. Okay, so installed these ones. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what happens. So we'll run Mastercam. Now, recently we've had an issue in the workshop where it hasn't found the NetHasp server, and I'm expecting this one to detect it, but later on in the video I'll show specifically what I did to tell Mastercam to look for the specific IP address rather than running a search on the whole network. And use a license agreement. There we go, it's found the NetHasp license. Okay. So, what are we going to do here? First off, let's just check the machine setup. So because of that shared configuration folder, we've got these here, but we still have to add them. So we can just jump in here and do that. Where's the Makino? U6. And we have no router. So that's done. Then the next thing to do is jump into configuration and just browse through this stuff. We probably won't need to change any of this, but what we will change, so yeah, this looks good, that it should look like this. And that should happen automatically when we set install shared directory stuff. Anyway, what we will change is the editor for the NC files. We're almost there now. I've gone past it, where was it? Here it is. So we got this editor here set to Mastercam. We need to change that to Cimco. And just hit OK on that. Oh. Alright, and then now let's just make a small drawing, and we will drill that hole. So let's go mill, use this one, let's drill this point. Yep, that's good. Okay, and we'll generate an NC file. I'm just going to call this Forbes. This is today's date. Overwrite that file. Now, this should, if we are fortunate, this should open CIMCOEdit. But it didn't because we're missing a DLL. So I'm going to try and solve this problem by downloading additional C++ redistributables. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but hopefully it will work. I'll just pause the video while I do that. Actually, before I do that, I'll restart because it just installed some redistributables already when it set up Mastercam, and maybe the DLLs haven't been registered properly, so a restart may fix that. If not, then I'll try grabbing them from Microsoft again. Okay. So I'm currently expecting this to not work, but we'll see. Point position, put that there. Ooh, Mastercam update. Oh, I think I have a bit of that. Yes, please. Maybe this will solve my DLL problem. I'll pause the video so you don't have to wait around for this. I have no idea how long it's going to take, although it looks like it's pretty quick. Maybe I won't pause the recording. Yeah, I'll pause the recording. See you in the future. Okay, so it was actually pretty quick. Ooh, another update. Yes, please. restart? Yeah, no problem, we can restart. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to check for updates again. Mastercam, check for updates. Good. More updates. Okay. I think that's the last update, but I'll accept the end user license agreement, which I'm assuming will pop up in a moment, and check for another update. No, it didn't prompt me this time. Interesting. Interessant, sehr interessant. Okay, we appear to be updated. Let's try to open Cimco. Alright. Here we go again. Point position. Boom. Boom. Let's make a hole. Alright. And generate the NC file. Overwrite my one from today. Yes. Stand by for DLL problem. Okay. Oh. Alright. Plot thickens. I will pause the video and see you in the future. Okay, so after a little research and from previous attempted recordings, I've tried downloading different C++ runtime installers, but the thing is, there's heaps of them, and I'm not sure which one we actually need. So I'm going to try this tool that somebody's made that is going to download them all in order. And yeah, I'm a little mixed about whether or not this is a good idea, because generally you should just go straight to Microsoft to get the correct thing. But given I don't know which runtime we're after, I'm going to try to find this one. Did I type the wrong? Let's try this again. Files, details, Visual C, runtime, installer.html. Here it is. Okay. Alright, so apparently we have to run this as an administrator too, which I guess would be a problem on everyone's machines, except for mine, because I'm using a virtual machine. But it also seems that you don't have the problem that I have right now, so hopefully you won't have to solve this problem, but if you did, you could just go through and manually download each of these runtimes until one of them solved the problem. That looked like it worked. Hard to say for sure, but let's do a reboot and try it out. That's a cool picture. Okay. So here we go, one more time. Excuse me. Drill a hole again. Come on, let me click. that hole. And generate the NC file. Please work. Oh my goodness, it worked. Okay, well I'm going to take note of that majorgeeks download. That seemed to have done the trick. Oh wow, epic. Okay, so at the moment this isn't actually going to work though. We've now got a new problem which we have to solve, which is the setup of all these COM ports. Which I will do in a moment, but this is good. We've got the NC files working. So the next thing is we've got to set up the COM ports. I'll just pause the video again. Alright, let's get the next thing working. So let's go back to the network drive. I'm going to the Mastercam directory, not the 2022 one, just the regular one, and I'm going to check my notes. It looks like I've got the file here. So we've got this driver manager version 3 which we can run, and that has been taken from this directory, so that location on the internet, and that has ultimately come from one of these other two links. So there might be a newer version, but I'm just going to use this one because it should work. So what we're trying to do at the moment by installing this is create a set of virtual COM ports that let us communicate with the machines in the workshop as though they were connected with a COM port, even though they're actually over a network. Now, I'm going to do this import, but there's this other way of doing things which I'll just show you, because I don't know who I'm actually talking to in the future, but you can run a search and it'll identify the devices that are compatible with this system. So it looks like there's 2 of them, but for now I'm just going to cancel that and I'm going to import our pre-configured stuff. So there's the import. Now the location of that import is just upper level from here. We've got this endport Windows Driver Manager COM settings, so I've saved them. So we can copy this directory and hit browse, drop that in there, select the ini file or whatever it is, and here we go, there's your COM port settings done. Too easy, mate. Too easy. So we just apply that. And exit. Just pause while I think about the next thing I need to show you. So I just had a little think, and I think the next thing that we should do is we should see if Cimco is actually going to see those COM ports we set up. So I also want to check if the Cimco stuff has shown up in app data yet, which it should happen the first time that it runs. So looks like it has, which is great. So yeah, anyway, we'll ignore that and we'll go back to Mastercam and we'll go through that whole process again just to make sure that everything works end to end. Okay, wireframe. point position, there's a point, fantastic. And a machine, we're going to mill, we'll use this one, we're going to drill this point, yes please. That's the toolpath. Generate an NC file. Overwrite my temporary file. Yes. The Mastercam automatically opens CIMCOEdit for us. Now we should have in here a transmission DNC setup. What is going on here? We should have Alright, I'm going to pause. I think I've forgotten what to do here. Basically what we want to do is we want to have the machines showing up in the CIMCOEdit transmission section. And I thought there was like an ability to import, but I don't see it. So I will, yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Okay. I remembered what we need to do. So from this network location, we've got this machines folder, and in CIMCOEdit we've got these two machines. The information for that, I'll just close this actually. The information for that lives in the app data directory for Cimco. So we'll go in here, and then there's machines, and there's the machine 1 and 2. So what we want to do is we want to delete those, and then we want to copy our ones from the network drive and paste them in here. And then this should already be pre-configured. So the next time that we try to open CIMCOEdit, we should get TL1, TM1, and VF3 show up. So let's see if that's true. Go to G1 here. Overwrite the latest. Yes. And now, oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that a beautiful thing? It's got the correct COM ports. So yeah, if these are not actually correct, then we can amend them to be whatever it is that they need to be. But everything that we've done should be correct because we're referencing the same common files that are on the network drive. So this is the configuration that apparently works. And if we find that it's not the configuration that works, then we should update it and then replace the files on the network drive so that they do reflect reality. Okay, so that is that done. Apparently, we have finished the installation of Mastercam, doing the configuration, all of that jazz. Now I'm going to talk about the problem that we've recently had in the workshop where Mastercam failed to find the NetHasp server, which reminds me, there's a whole setup that's necessary for NetHasp that is not what's in this video right now, and there's documentation on the internet and stuff like that that can help you do that, but yeah, let's just move on to where we want to talk to that system. Now, from my earlier work investigating what was going on, I identified the IP address of the what's it called, of the NetHasp server machine. So what we're going to do right now is I'll just do a remote desktop connection to that machine, and we'll have a look briefly at what is in there. So that's 131.236.54.162. I don't think it has a static IP address, so this could change. I also don't know the name of the machine off the top of my head, but I guess once we log into it, we will find out what the name of the machine is. Oh, there it is. So we, alternatively to typing the IP address, we could type in this address, and that would also work. I'm not going to say what the password is, but you know, people in the workshop already have the password to log into this machine. Okay, cool. So it looks like Steve's been doing something. Let's just close this, because Steve shouldn't really need to use Mastercam on this machine. Then again, Steve, if you want to, you're welcome to. So we've got this HASP license manager down here. So it's running as a service, and there's a small USB device that's plugged into the computer that lets, I don't know, I guess it acts as the key to say that the NetHasp server can run here, and that the other machines can connect, can have a license. So there's this NetHasp X here, and if you go into that, it'll tell you who's using what. So you can see that in the session that I had one of the mill licenses with CIMCOEdit. So that's being used. So yeah, basically this stuff is living on this server that lives in the workshop, and we want to make it that whenever Mastercam needs to find out if it's got a license, it needs to talk to this server. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to I'll just take note of the name of this machine again. So system, this is the full name. I may as well put that in the file that I'm about to edit. Well, now that I think about it, the copying's not going to carry through to the other world, so I'll just note this down in the text file. Okay. Cancel that. So we can disconnect from that remote desktop session. Now, on the computer that we've just installed Mastercam on, there will be a shortcut like this one, and in this shortcut we've got the target, and this is referencing the actual executable that we want to launch with Mastercam to work. Now I'll just show you, maybe it's /n. It turns out that, oh come on, let's use Google. No offense, Bing, but you didn't give me what I wanted. NetHasp Mastercam /n. This administrator guide, that, oh hang on, no, not that one. Let's go to the next one down. So this is a document I referred to the other day. And in it, it specifies what these switches are. So again, because I'm not sure who I'm talking to right now, when we have command line programs, or any program, you know, any.exe or whatever, often we can pass parameters. So if I go in here and do ping help, oh, sorry, not parameters, arguments. So we could do ping -t, so we could do ping, actually we could ping that server that we were just logged into. Let's try that, see if this way of referencing it works. So we can ping that, and that's great, and that'll do it 4 times. But what if we wanted to do it, you know, more than 4 times? So we could put this argument here, -n, and then do it 5 times, and then it would ping 5 times. So you can change the behavior of your application by adding these arguments. And Mastercam is exactly the same. So there is a mastercam.exe, and if we do /n at the end, that, according to this document and according to my observations, tells Mastercam to try NetHasp first. So we're going to start with that, and this needs to happen to any Mastercam shortcuts that you have. So over here we have a Mastercam shortcut on the desktop. What we need to do at the end of this is, let me just double check that, /n, do space, /n, and it's after the quotation mark. We apply. And yeah, so you need admin rights for that one. Similarly, in here, in the Mastercam here, you need to right click this, open file location, right click that, properties, and then go to the end here and do it's / isn't it? I don't know why I keep forgetting. /n, put it in there, apply. So that will tell it to use NetHasp. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to actually tell it what address, what computer is it that is the NetHasp server. So to do that, let's right click this and go open file location. And this is the place on the computer where mastercam.exe actually lives. And it's also the place where the NetHasp configuration file lives, which is here. Now, I'll just quickly show you that if we try to edit this, if I go and delete everything and try to save, .ini, it will say, no, you can't do that because you're not an administrator. So we can't just open it and edit it. We have to open a text editor that's in admin administrator rights mode. It needs to be elevated. You can use anything really, but I'm just going to use Notepad. So we'll run as administrator. Yes, that's what we want. And then I'm going to copy this address and navigate there. And then type in nethasp.ini. nethasp.ini. Then I can open that. Now I can save things. So maximize this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to specify that we're going to use TCP/IP. So we just copy this nh_TCP/IP equals enabled, and we'll paste that there. All these lines that have a semicolon, this means that they're just comments. So if you want, you could, instead of commenting it, copying, you could just remove the comments like that. But I figured I'll keep it as a reference. I'll just put it on the next line down, and it says, okay, we're going to use TCP/IP. And then the other section we need to change. So you can see in this config file, we've got different sections for each of these: IPX, NetBIOS, and TCP/IP. Because we've enabled TCP/IP, we need to go to the section for TCP/IP. There's NetBIOS. Here's TCP/IP. We need to specify this server address for the NetHasp server. So I'm just going to copy that, say equals, and now I'm going to grab this address of the machine, and I'm going to put it there. Now it also says that we can comma separate these. So I could add to that the actual IP address, like that. And so this will try to do it this way first, where it uses the domain name. Not the domain name, but the name of the computer within the intranet. And then if for some reason it can't resolve that, if it can't convert this to an actual IP address, then it will then try this. And if it can't talk to that address, maybe the IP address has changed, then it will run the search as it normally does. So at this point, we save, we close, and we are done. So the next time that Mastercam launches, it will default immediately to NetHasp, and you can see that already, license type. Now we get this product level overridden message. I'm not sure how to prevent this warning from popping up, but the main thing is it works. So if you're having issues with the NetHasp license server being detected by your Mastercam on your particular computer, that's how you tell it to look directly at the NetHasp server machine. Okay, at this point I think I've covered everything that matters, and this is probably a ridiculously long video, so I will stop. But just before I do, you can see that I can still select these things, and Mastercam opened and we didn't get any license error message. So yeah, I would say we're done setting up here. We're sorted. If you're actually setting this up, trying to make it work for real, I would recommend trying to send one of those NC files to one of the physical machines in the workshop, just to make sure that everything is connected from start to finish. If you find that it's not, it probably means that the COM ports are configured incorrectly. So yeah, but that will require some investigation and that sort of thing. But yeah, okay. Thank you for your patience and sticking with me on this journey. I was working things out as I was recording. So yeah, but we got there in the end and everything works. So thank you very much. Bye.